Hey everyone, this is Vile Kaiser, and welcome to Character Dissection. In these videos, I'll be explaining the details and inner workings of characters that some of you may not know. Yes, I understand that I may cover some information that you personally know already, but please keep any comments about how obvious these things may or may not be to a minimum. Just because you know all of this doesn't mean that everyone does. These are informative pieces for newcomers, not long-winded creation essays underlying every small detail of a character's background. For our first episode, I didn't want to tackle one of the big guns, so today we'll be looking into that cute and fluffy fox of Sonic the Hedgehog fame. Miles Prower, better known as Tails, is Sonic's quirky little genius of a sidekick who first appeared in Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the Sega Master System. This 8-year-old Anthro's claim to fame are his two tails, which he got his nickname from. Not only that, but despite his young age, he is also an expert mechanic, building planes, mechs, and planes that turn into mechs. Before I get too far ahead of myself though, let's go through the little guy's natural skills. While his twin tails may be rather freakish, he can use them to travel at super speed, and even propel himself in the air like a helicopter by spinning them around like a propeller. How he does this hasn't really been explained in detail, but I'd imagine it's pulled off by two things. One, a unique bone structure and advanced muscle control that allows him to spin his tails in a clockwise motion. Two, extreme concentration, which, considering his absurdly high IQ, can't be too far off. Even though he seems to be able to travel in the air for longer periods of time in the earlier games, the later games do show that he eventually has to stop and rest. This can be explained by psychological fatigue, but I find it more likely to believe that eventually he simply has to stop so that his tails don't twist into one another and cause him to crash. Tails' main form of attack also utilizes his tails, and is aptly named the Tail Swipe. He spins himself 360 degrees to lash out with his tails, dealing a massive blow to anyone who happens to be in front of him. While powerful, it isn't necessarily as safe as a spin attack from Sonic, due to leaving tails open for enemies to attack him from behind. Aside from using his tails, Miles happens to still be pretty quick on his feet without them, and if Sonic Riders is anything to go by for reference, he can even kick up to a running speed of 100 miles per hour before he starts propeller dashing. He also possesses amazing acrobatic skills, showing them off by grinding on rails and performing aerial stunts. Oh, and unlike Sonic, he can actually swim. Now that we've got a rundown on how the little guy gets around and fucks shit up, let's look a little more into his technological expertise. Tails is quite the child prodigy, and is even as capable an inventor as Dr. Eggman himself. Or Robotnik. Whatever you want to call him. We'll get to that roly-poly scientist in another episode. Anyway, since Tails is so young, this means he only has room to improve even further. Very impressive. His most well-known inventions are his airplanes, that's a fact, but the Tornado has went through various models and upgrades over the years. Originally the plane even belonged to Sonic, but after meeting Tails he more than likely decided it best for someone like him to be piloting and keeping the machine in check. From there, Tails made various improvements to the original design, even incorporating jet engines for maximum speed. While the engines were at first outside of the plane itself, by the time of Sonic Adventure he had built them into the Tornado. After being shot down by Eggman's egg carrier, Tails went on to resurrect the Tornado as the Tornado 2. Unlike the original, the Tornado 2 required a Chaos Emerald as a power source, but with great power comes great capabilities. The Tornado 2 could fold its wings into an egg shape to reach much greater speeds than that of its predecessor, possibly leading to ideas for its next model. In Sonic Adventure 2, Tails reveals his newest plane, the Tornado 3, more commonly referred to as the Cyclone. While it is a monoplane, unlike the former versions, the Cyclone is equipped with a missile launcher behind the seat and is able to transform into both a walking mech and a car. This was Tails' main form of transportation and offense in the game, showing that he possibly grew tired of getting knocked around by baddies himself. Finally, we have the Tornado 1. Despite its name, it's nowhere near the original other than its color scheme, and actually has a much sleeker, futuristic design. Nearly a glorified jet at this point, it was first revealed in Sonic Unleashed, combining seemingly the best aspects of each of the previous models. Red paint job, the ability to transform, and homing missiles built in as well. This version of the Tornado seems to be where Tails is staying for the moment, however, as it has also appeared in Sonic Generations and Mario and Sonic at the Sochi 2014 Olympic Winter Games. Other than planes, Tails has also built many other machines and devices. A Chaos Emerald locator, a submarine named the Sea Fox, a spaceship called the Lunar Fox, as well as a multifunctional handheld computer, the Miles Electric, just to name a few. The fucker is smart enough to tell any piece of technology's functions simply by looking at it for a moment, as well as being able to ascertain exactly how it works. He even did this with the Gizoids, advanced battle androids which had been built by the Echidnas 4,000 years prior to him even being born. He is also entirely fluent in binary and hexadecimal language, and can even make logical theories or guesses in regards to the various scientific fields other than mechanics, such as physics. Yeah, he's a genius, but those smarts even have their flaws, a prime example being shown in Sonic Riders. While he was capable of showing some skill with extreme gear mechanics, he was highly outclassed by Wave the Swallow. Though he was able to impress her, it would admittedly take him some time to get the finer workings of the boards down. Tails also isn't as experienced a fighter as his allies, preferring aerial support and the like over close quarters fighting. While he has shown the capability to absorb chaos energy and achieve a super transformation, he was only able to do so using the enhanced super emeralds. This could change and is possibly due to how young he is, though. Tails has a tendency to talk a bit too much as well, revealing secrets to the enemy when under stress. Of course, he's 8, so it'd be pretty easy to intimidate him. Well, that's all the time we've got for this episode of Character Dissection. We'll possibly cover more aspects of Tails in the future, but for now we'll call it a day. Come back around next week and we'll cover someone a bit more obscure. I'll give you a hint though. She really likes the feeling of dirt under her feet. If you have any suggestions for characters you would like to see in a future episode of Character Dissection, leave those in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, you can always subscribe. This is Bob Kaiser, signing out.